Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm going to look at 21 and 22 first, and then 25 and 26 are just like them. So I'm not going to do 25 and 26, so I'll do the first two. 25 and 26 are just like it, and you should be able to do it really quick and easy. Alright, let's just let's write down what they say first. Okay, so it's they say y equals -2, and then y equals 4. So those are your two equations, and they are parallel lines. If you remember, I'm not going to get real detailed with this, okay, but I will make a little XY axis here. If you remember what kind of lines these are, anybody remember? If it's just y equals a number, it's a horizontal line. That's right, it goes through the y-axis. This is the y-axis. When it just says y equals a number, it's a horizontal line that goes through the y-axis. We've discussed that before. In fact, the quiz you just took today dealt with some of that stuff, didn't it? Did you have a question on there where you had a horizontal line or a vertical line? I can't remember off the top of my head. Was there something on there? Okay. So that's something that you should have known. Right? And we've talked about that before. So y equals -2. So here's -2, a little dot right there. And what kind of line do we have? Let's just go different color here. We have what? Let's see if I can get it to hit. There we go. It's a vertical line. All right? And it goes through the y-axis at -2. And then you got another point on here, y equals 4. So it's 1, 2, oops. Let's go back to black here. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have a horizontal line that goes through that. Let's just kind of take that and put it right there. And what are you trying to do? What does this whole problem say to do? Look at it. It says find the distance from or between each pair of parallel lines. We're trying to find the distance. So now look, how far are you up here on the y-axis? You're at 4, aren't you? Where are you on the y-axis down here? You're at -2. What is the distance? I'm going to show it as a dotted line. It's just straight down, isn't it? It's from 4 to -2. It's that easy. That's all there was. I told you it was easy, didn't I? I wasn't lying. You could do distance formula, but you don't need to. All right? Just look at it. If they're horizontal lines, if they're both horizontal or they're both vertical, it's the same way it works if they're both vertical lines. All you got to do is take it from one point to the other and just count down, right? Because you're not slanted at all, are you? You don't have to do Pythagorean theorem, which means the distance formula. That's what distance formula is really needed for, if the line slants or is diagonal. Okay, if it's just straight up or down or across, then all you got to do is count from 4 to -2. 4 minus -2 is what? So the distance is just 6, and that's all there is to it. Everybody okay with that? All right, so there's 4 of them like this. Okay, the next one, I'll do the next one for you, because it's X, but it's the same deal. Let's do a different color. All right, it's really the same deal. So let's grab this, grab that. Just all right, there we go. And let's write down what they say. It's X is 3, X is 7. Now this is not a horizontal line. Horizontal line is y equals a number. What do you think X is? It's a what? It's a vertical line, exactly right. So you come over here to 3, 1, 2, 3. You go to here to 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7, there's 3, and you've got a vertical line. Let's make this different color. All right, so here's our vertical line right here, and there's another vertical line right here. And what are you trying to do between the two things? You're trying to find the distance between them, right? So if it's vertical line, the distance is horizontal, right? So it's just straight across from 3 to 7. What is that distance right there? It's just 4, and that's it. You're done. All right, 25 and 26 are the exact same type of problems. All right, so I'm not going to do this for you. I think you can handle that on your own. Show of hands. Who thinks that's easy now? Yeah, see, I'm not lying to you, am I? All right? Okay.
Was it really easy?
Yes, it was.
You never showed us.
But I didn't have to show you exactly this problem. I've shown you this. I've shown you how to graph a horizontal line. I've shown you how to graph a vertical line. Okay, we talked about it. Now listen. This whole idea of, well, we didn't do this exact one in class. I mean, that's bogus to me, because we've given you all the information that you need to know. You have got to be in that situation where you put it together. You're like an investigator, right? You take this clue, this clue, this clue, you put it all together and you come up with a conclusion. That's what you should be doing with this stuff. Just because I didn't do this exact problem in class doesn't mean that you can't do this problem. I mean, you know how to graph a horizontal line, you know how to graph a vertical line. You know what it means to find the distance between these two lines. It's right here. It's two horizontal lines, so the distance is the perpendicular line, right? What's perpendicular to a horizontal line? It's a what? It's a vertical line, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so you just draw a straight line from here to here. What are you trying to find? The distance from 4 down to -2. That's something that if you really thought about it and you really investigated it and you graph the thing out and if you didn't understand what kind of graph this was, it's up to you to go back and look. Go back to the sections where we talked about graphing, okay? And you have to know that that's what that is. Okay, enough yelling at you, sorry. Let's go to the next one, which is a little bit tougher. It's the stuff that we did in class. So the next problem I'm going to do, we basically did this style of problem in class. It was on YouTube, all right? So you should have had enough explanation on this. But let's do it again. I'm going to do number 23, all right? Most of the rest of them are pretty much like 23. So we'll do that. I only got 5 minutes to do this problem. So, all right. If I don't get too much done here today, what I'm going to tell you to do is go to the 7th period YouTube. Okay, for some reason it seems I go quicker in that because I've already done it once, you know, so I know how long it takes to do things. So usually in that class I get done a little bit further than when I get done in here. So go to the 7th period class and we'll probably do these same problems. All right, go and look at it, and if I don't finish in here today. All right, so I'm going to do number 23 right now. And all the other problems are really, really similar to this. Okay, they're just different numbers, different slopes, and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm going to not even use the graph paper on this because this goes all the way down to 22. Did you notice that? See that first equation? Y equals 5x minus 22. Now, you may not want to graph that out on your graph paper that far, but we don't have to. The graph is only used as a visual aid for us, okay? It's only a sketch to see what's going on. So watch, I'm just going to sketch it out. Where's negative 22? Well, it's going to be way down here, isn't it? So I'll even put a negative 22 right there. And what's the slope? It's 5 over 1. So I'll just pretend go up 5, go over 1. It's probably somewhere like that. Let's graph the thing now. Let's graph it, make it that color. Alright, so we'll go down like this. We'll extend it out a little bit. Alright, so there's my line. Alright, now what's this? Y equals 5x plus 4. So you go up here, let's say that's 4 right there. Now the graph's going to look exactly the same. So I get the advantage of just copying and pasting since I'm using this thing. Alright, it goes like that. We good so far? So that's what you should. You should have something that looks very similar to that on your paper. You can just sketch it out. Now, what do we do? Well, look, I know a point right here. You could use either this point down here at negative 22, or you can use this one. I chose to use this one just because 4 is smaller than 22, and I figured that's probably easier to work with a smaller number. Would you agree with that? So it doesn't matter. You can use either this one and go here, or you can use this point and go to here. It doesn't make any difference. I'm going to use this one. So what is this point right here? It's 0 what? 4. It's supposed to be a 4. Okay, so that point right there is 0, 4. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to find the perpendicular distance from here to here. We'll just eyeball it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, so that's what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find that distance of that green line right there. So if I find the distance between 2 points, I got to know the 2 points, right? Problem is, what? Don't know that point, do I? I got to find that point. That's what all the work's about. The distance formula is the easy part of this, isn't it? It's finding that point is the part that's a little bit tough. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the equation of 2 lines. We're going to find the equation of this line right here. Why this line? Why not that one? I want to find this one because I'm trying to find that point. I'm trying to find the equation of the 2 lines that make that unknown point right there, that intersect at that point. So I already know that equation. What is this equation right here of this one? That's the one with the 22. Right. It's y equals 5x minus 22. That's that equation. What about, I'll tell you what, this shouldn't take too long. Boom. Okay, I'll just make that purple. So that's this line right here. You with me on that? Okay, so what about this one right here? y equals, we don't know, but we do know some stuff about it. What's the slope of this line? It's perpendicular to this purple one. It's not the same, not the green one. It's negative 1/5. It's negative 1 over 5. The two purple ones are the same, but I'm looking for the slope of the green one. Okay, so the green one would be negative 1/5. So I've got negative 1/5 x. Now, what about the y-intercept of that green line? I can just look at my graph and see what the y-intercept is. What is it? It's 4. Do you see it? So, look, it was that easy to find the equation of that little distance line. You see that? I know the slope because I knew the slope of this one. I know the y-intercept because I chose that point. I chose that y-intercept as one of my points. So I know that point right there. So I can just put it all together. So now, what do we do once we get to this situation? Set them equal to each other, right? This is equal to y, this is equal to y, set them equal. And then we solve for x and we solve for y. So I'm setting them equal to each other right now. And then I'm going to do some math. I'm going to add a 1/5 x. I'm just doing this in my head because of time's sake, but you can go back and do it on your own just so you know what's going on. Look, 5 is the same as 25 over 5. 25 plus 1 is 26 over 5. That cancels. This cancels, and that's 26. Watch how nice and easy this works out. That's 5 over 26, so I multiply this by 5 over 26. What's x equal to? X equals 5. Now watch, quickly, let's use this equation right here to solve for y. Y equals 5 times 5 minus 22. 25 minus 22, y is what? 3. So what's my point? My point is 5, 3. That's that point right there.
Jonathan Hamrick.
What did I do?
School office.
Yeah, maybe it is because I just didn't draw it. Maybe I just didn't draw it correctly. It probably goes way up here and it intersects way up there. That's my point. So now what do? You take 0, 4. I won't do all this. You do 0, 4 and what? 5, 3. And guess what you do to those two things? You find the distance between them. And you can do that part and we're done. Okay? You have a little assignment here. It's practice test. This is review for the test. So it's called practice test. It's page 227, and it's 1 through 25. Okay, it's practice test. There you go. No, I want you to hang on to that homework. It sounds like you had a lot of questions on it. Hang on to it. Try to finish the ones you couldn't do tonight so that you have a good idea what to do. Finish that homework, do the practice test, and we'll be good for tomorrow. Remember, another quiz tomorrow. Alright? I told you it's a busy week this week. Okay? It's the next two sections. So that was 4. So 5 and 6.